Today I have a special guest, my dog, who's insisting on sitting by me, so that's Chai. We're going to talk about social etiquette, though, because social etiquette is a moving target. Yeah, you do still need to say please and thank you. Cutting in line in front of someone is frowned upon, and someone needs to remind people that you should not answer your phone in the movie theater. I was seeing Conclave a few months ago, which is that movie about picking a new pope, and a woman full-on had her ringer turned all the way up, and she picked up a call and started talking loudly during a scene where I can only imagine Ralph Fiennes was doing something contemplative, as people who are picking a pope do. And if that wasn't bad enough, she answered 2 phone calls. It happened twice. Twice! Go in the lobby if you must take your call. Please. Many things that were once considered rude are now totally normal and maybe even expected. The definition of what's polite is shifting as society gets more and more casual. But that doesn't mean your grandma won't still give you side-eye if you decide to pull out your phone and scroll while you're having dinner with her, so maybe don't do that. Here are 11 things that seem like bad manners, but they're totally acceptable now. 1. Scrolling at the dinner table. Once upon a time, having your phone out at dinner meant you were a rude, distracted mess. Now, it's just kind of life. Context does matter, of course, because scrolling in the middle of a romantic dinner with your new boo is not a great look and probably won't get you another date. But if you're scrolling while inhaling takeout on the couch while watching Netflix, it's more of a who cares kind of situation. Scrolling during a routine family dinner might be more acceptable now than it was even just a few years ago. But still, if you're staring at your phone, it means you're missing out on 90% of communication, which is nonverbal. So maybe put the phone down if you're with people you want to feel connected to, because we all benefit from eye contact and lively conversation. 2. Using emojis in work emails. Back in the day, an emoji in a very serious corporate work email might have gotten you fired, or at least judged. But Gen Z is here and they're emojiing their way through corporate life. They're using a lot of emojis. Emojiing is not a word. Even though it might seem unprofessional or like bad manners to us older folks. Research even backs it up, saying that emojis help convey tone and appreciation. They can make your emails more effective and potentially enhance clarity with, a well-placed smiley face. As a side note, emojis can also be misused in a way that negatively impacts people's working relationships, so you need to understand your audience and your business's culture. So if you think they'd take it the wrong way, maybe don't send that laugh cry face emoji to your CEO. 3 is texting instead of calling. Remember when people just called each other? I am old enough that yes, I do remember. When we only had landlines, we would tie up the phone for hours chatting with our besties, not talking or talking forever, and still finding things to not talk about. These days, texting is the norm. In fact, texting has outpaced calling for 20 years now, since 2005. 2005! I didn't even get a cell phone until 2004, and it was just a Nokia brick. I wasn't texting anyone on that thing. So, anyway. To modern folks, phone calls are seen as kinda intrusive. Unless it's your grandma, or it's an emergency, nobody wants to hear their phone ring. And other people don't want to hear your phone ring in the middle of a movie theater. Just saying. 4. Not shaking hands. Handshakes used to be the way to greet people. Then, 2020 happened. The handshake was replaced by a nod, a wave, or even a polite, I don't shake hands. 5 years later, we still haven't come back around to the handshake. We just don't want physical contact if we don't need it, which, hey, at least we spread less germs around when we keep our germs to ourselves. 5. Ignoring unexpected visitors. Once upon a time, surprise visits were charming. It was wonderful when someone showed up unannounced to brighten your day. It was a little bit less of a wonderful surprise when someone showed up to try and sell you a vacuum cleaner, but we still opened the door, and we were still mostly polite. Now, knocking on my door without an appointment? It's borderline offensive. Don't interrupt my peace and quiet. Don't make my dogs bark. And ignoring someone standing on my doorstep seems more rude than it actually is, as there's really no hard and fast rule that we have to sacrifice our personal comfort just to entertain other people. If you didn't text first, don't expect the door to open. 6. Waiting to respond to texts. Immediate replies? That's a lot of pressure. Did you know that you don't have to respond immediately? Yeah, I know, it's quite a concept. So kids, when I don't respond, you don't need to text mom in all caps 5 times in a row. I'm just dissociating or something, and I'll get back to you when I have a moment. Yeah, there is pressure to always be in contact with one another, but it doesn't really serve us. It turns out taking time to text back is actually good for your mental health. Prioritizing real life over constant digital conversation, we love to see it. 7. Wearing casual clothes at work. Unless you work in a courtroom or a bank or on Wall Street because you're some rich finance guy, business suits are pretty much extinct. I mean, even my silent generation dad who went to work every day in a full suit 30 years ago was wearing casual pants and a polo shirt by the time he retired, so old habits can die. Heck, I'm Gen X, and I only really had to dress up at my first job out of college, where I was an administrative assistant for a religious organization that made us dress in church clothes. Since then, I've worked in creative fields, so jeans and a graphic t-shirt with sneakers was always a totally acceptable work outfit. 51% of women who were surveyed for a Gallup poll wear blouses, dress pants, dressy jeans, or skirts to work, while 31% go full t-shirt and leggings, relaxing at home, Netflix, bonbons in hand kind of outfits. Only 3% of men wear suits on a regular basis when they go to the office. Again, like Wall Street guys. I've worked from home now for over a decade, and I will admit that sometimes I miss getting all cute to go to work and wearing my nice clothes and actual shoes. But also, embrace the stretchy waistbands. This is the way. 8. Unfollowing people on social media. Curating your feed is self-care. Life is short. There's no need to be exposed to social media posts or influencers or really anything that makes you want to walk into the ocean to never return. Yeah, even if it's friends or family posting those things. If an account makes you roll your eyes or rage scroll, hit unfollow. It's not personal, it's protecting your peace. You hold the power to decide what you consume, so take advantage of it. 9. Leaving events early. Once again, life is short, and so is your social battery. Ducking out early is totally fine, as long as you say a quick goodbye to the host. The Irish goodbye, while one of my favorite ways to say goodbye personally, is kind of frowned upon. Be sure to socialize and make the most of your time at the event, but don't feel bad if you don't stick around long enough to help clean up after it ends. As I've gotten older, I've realized that there are many benefits to being in bed at the reasonable hour of 9 p.m., and at this point, I really don't care how great your party is. Nothing comes between this girl and her pillow. 10. Quitting without 2 weeks' notice. 2 weeks' notice used to be the professional thing to do, but guess what? If your job treats you like garbage or has a history of cutting people loose as soon as they say they're quitting, you don't owe them anything. You certainly don't owe them 2 weeks of your time. Besides, more often than not, if you go in to give 2 weeks notice, your job is going to turn around and say, today's your last day, pack up your things and go. And if your job were to let you go, that mysterious meeting with HR would just show up on your work calendar, you'd go in, they'd tell you you're done, and you'd have to leave. So honestly, do they really deserve 2 weeks if they wouldn't give you the courtesy of 2 weeks? It is a good idea to give notice if you can, but if you cannot be there for another second, and look, we've all been in that position, or if your company has that track record of having resigning employees leave and not paying them for their notice periods, quitting without notice is acceptable. Just know that bridges, once they're burned, stay burned. So be smart. 11. Breaking up by text. Remember what I said earlier about phone calls? We don't do those anymore. And that includes when we decide to dump someone. Ghosting? Yeah, that's still rude. But a breakup text is sometimes acceptable. If you've only been dating a few weeks, a kind, clear message does the job. Just over 10% of people have ended a relationship through text, so you wouldn't be the only one doing that. But if you live together, or you're married, or you have a very long history with this person, have the conversation in person and be decent, for crying out loud. Have some compassion. Manners evolve, and so do we. So the next time someone gives you side-eye for texting instead of calling, or you while you walk by wearing your fancy sweatpants in the office, just remember, this isn't cotillion class. It's 2025, and we make our own rules. Like having dogs in our videos. Super professional, right? Anyway, I think more videos should have dogs in them because it makes the video 10% cooler. Or is it 20% cooler? I don't know. It just makes things better. Anyway, thanks for watching YourTango. Make sure to like and subscribe.